Alrighty, so I just finished a kick-ass game on the Saturn called Darius Gaiden. This, of course, is the imported version because you get, a cool jewel case, not these shitty, huge cases that I have back here. Anyways, the game is a, horizontal side-scrolling shooter. You can control this ship called the Silverhawk, and you have to fight off these like alien fish monsters or something. The story really isn't important at all. What's really important is the gameplay, and the gameplay kicks ass. Basically you just go around, you just hold down the fire button and you just blast the enemies. You also have a black hole bomb which will suck up all the projectiles and also any small enemies, and then do major damage to the larger enemies. And I find it's a really great defensive maneuver if you ever find yourself kind of boxed in and like there's no way you're going to dodge all the bullets. Then go ahead and fire off one of those black hole bombs, and generally it'll save your butt. Now while you're shooting these enemies, there will be some colored fish enemies, and they'll drop behind upgrades. Like you shoot blue ones, they'll upgrade your shield. Red ones will upgrade your laser or your cannons or whatever. Yellow is not that common, but what it'll do is it'll just annihilate everything on screen. Kind of like that potion thing or whatever from Castlevania, where you just touch it and everything just vanishes. There's a purple one which gives you another of your black hole bombs. Let's see. Oh, and a green one which, I forgot what the green one does. I'll remember it later. Oh, the green one makes your black hole bomb smarter, or not smarter, stronger. And then there's also a gray one. I'm not sure what the gray one does. And that one usually tends to be hidden like on the bottom of the screen. You shoot the terrain and all of a sudden, flashes up there. Maybe it just gets you points, I don't know. There's also hidden lives, again scattered in the terrain. You probably won't notice because you'll be too busy dodging projectiles, but you might see it like flying around, and then next time you go through that level you realize, oh hey, right about there is an extra life. Music in this game is really, really awesome. It's kind of like this, let's see how it is, kind of like a trippy, techno-y kind of music. It's kind of relaxed, but not too much. It's just got a really weird vibe to it. There's like a lot of female vocals, but it's mixed with like a lot of echo and stuff, and it's kind of faintly in the background. So it's a great soundtrack. Really captures the mood of the game perfectly. What I really love about this game is, I'm not familiar with the series, so I don't know if they do this in every game, but what I really like about it is that the fact that, there's only really 7 levels, but there's different paths you can go on. So like, once you finish Zone A, you have the option to go to Zone B or C, and then, go to Zone C, and you have the option for Zone E or F. Or if you went through Zone B, you have the option for D or E, and so on and so forth. And altogether, I think there's 28 levels, but you'll only be going through 7 in one playthrough. But it pretty much guarantees that you'll have a different experience each time, assuming you choose different paths. So it's neat because it gives you an extra challenge in case you do actually manage to beat the game, which is extremely hard. So if you're looking for more challenge, in addition to upping the difficulty level, you can actually choose different paths. So, and the levels are really cool. There's like, there's like these really cool, like, weird kind of backgrounds sometimes. Then there's your typical space ones, like city. Sometimes you'll go underwater, through like tight caverns. Sometimes you'll be like on a moon or something like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of variety, and the boss enemies are, they generally take up the whole screen, and you're going to be using your black hole bombs all the time. just take off a huge chunk of damage and to protect yourself, because the projectiles just come all over the place, and you know, it's really hard to dodge it all. So you know, it's always good to try to save at least 1 or 2 of those for the boss battle. And you do get 3 black hole bombs per life, and I think you get 2 lives per continue, and there's like 3 continues in the game. So, you know, that's another way that it's challenging, is there's not unlimited continues. There are codes out there, you know, if you really feel you need the help. But yeah, it's quite an achievement when you actually you know, beat this game, because it is freaking hard as hell. And I'm not terribly experienced with these games. You know, I've played through Blazing Lasers, Airzonk, 1943 Kai, all on Turbo Graphics. Actually just beat Gaia Seed recently on PS1. But, you know, I'm not terribly experienced with these, so, you know, this game was hard as hell for me. And I've heard from a lot of people too that it's really hard, so it's not just me, I think. And if you want to pick up this game, I'd recommend getting the Japanese version. The American version seems to go for like 35 bucks. This one goes for about 15, so, you know, definitely a lot cheaper. You will need this though, the action replay card or something like it, or you'll have to mod your console. And yes, this is, despite its horrible, ugly packaging, this is really awesome and worth owning if you have a Saturn, because it lets you play, you know, kick-ass Japanese games like this, or many others. And I found, just like this game, you know, a lot of the Japanese versions tend to be much cheaper. So if it's something that you doesn't require reading Japanese, then yeah, definitely pick up the Japanese version, because it'll save you a lot of money. You know, you'll have to pay a little extra for shipping, and it might take a little longer, but it's worth it in the end. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this game. Kick-ass shooter, one that I will be replaying often. It's one of my favorite shooters. I still really love Blazing Lasers, but as far as side-scrolling shooters, this one would be my favorite. Blazing Lasers would be my favorite, you know, vertical. But anyways, cheers. That's it for Darius Gaiden. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.